Everyone, my name is Mehek. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all fine, safe, and like always, I also hope that you guys are reading. We finished our third book for January month. It is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine, Evaristo. It's a paperback. This book was the winner of the Booker Prize in 2019. Now, it has a very interesting summary that I'm quickly going to read. This is written as you have never read it. This is written as it has never been told. From top of the country to the bottom, across more than a century of change and growth and struggle and life, Girl, Woman, Other follows 12 very different characters on a journey of discovery. It is future, it is past, it is fiction, it is history. It's a novel about who we are now. Obviously, when I read the summary, it sounded so interesting and I picked it up. But reading this book has been a journey because, as a reader, I picked it up and few chapters down the line, I wanted to give it up. I was like, this is not for me. But then suddenly it got interesting. Some characters were so interesting and chapters were so engrossing that I didn't want to put the book down. I have quite a few mixed feelings about this book. While some chapters have been drag on, some have been really interesting. Now, coming to the story of the book, as it says, it follows the lives, the struggles, the experiences, the ideas, and the lovers of 12 different characters in Britain, mostly women. Now, all these characters, they're very different, and although their story is in different time, but somehow these characters are related to each other. Either they are friends, either they are acquaintances, or either they are relatives. And the writer very smartly has this last chapter called the grand finale, where all the characters come together, and I thought that was very interesting. So there are 12 short stories with these characters, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly take you through some of my favorite ones, which is going to give you an idea about what this book is exactly about. So the first character is Amma. She is a middle-aged woman. She's politically engaged. She's a lesbian and she's a theatre maker. She's basically, she's a theatre artist and now she started her own company. She talks about her struggles, how when she came to Britain, because she was a black woman, the roles that she was offered were mainly of a prostitute or as a slave. So when obviously you read about it, you feel her plight. Then we have the next character, Yazz. Yazz is basically Amma's daughter. She is a self-righteous teenager, a woke teenager, and she hangs around with teenagers who have similar opinions as her. And she truly believes that her generation is doomed. It's because of the previous generation and what they have done. Now, she holds her dad in high opinion until she finds out something in his drawer, and that's when she realizes that you can never really know about people until unless you know their computer history or what they are hiding in their drawer. Actually, the discovery was quite interesting and amusing. The next character is Dominique. Again, a very interesting and engrossing story. Dominique is actually friend of Amma. She's also the collaborator who kind of started this theatre company with Amma. She falls for a feminist lesbian, and because of which she is, she leaves her home country and travels to America. And later she realizes that this lesbian partner is psychotic, is emotionally abusive and really controlling, and that's when Dominique realizes that she's stuck. The next character is Carol. Carol's story was very sad. You feel so sorry for her. She was gang raped when she was 13, and since then I think she was never at ease. Even though now she's at a status, she has a high paying job and she's at a very comfortable environment, yet she never feels at ease. You can constantly, when you read about her, you realize that she's constantly trying to fit in the white culture among the white people. The next character, Bhumi. Now this was my most favorite character because her story is so interesting. Her journey was so vivid. So Bhumi is actually Carol's mother. she is very worried about Carol because she feels that Carol is kind of drifting apart from her Nigerian culture. Also because Carol ends up marrying a white man, and which comes as a shock to Bhumi. Now, a little about Bhumi's background. Bhumi is she was married, obviously, and in Nigeria she was a topper in maths, and she had this great degree in marks. But the husband wanted to shift to Britain, and that's when she comes here. And because there's no job and they have to earn their means, she starts working as a cleaner. And that's when she realizes, that even if she has a first class degree, doesn't matter, because she comes from a third world country, and it's very difficult to rise, when you're surrounded by white people around. And and then the husband dies and she opens her own cleaning business. Very interesting. Bhumi also engages for a very short time with a female partner. They have a romantic relationship. So yeah, I think when you read about Bhumi's journey, it's very interesting and amusing. So that was one very engrossing chapter for me. The next character is of Penelope. That was where Penelope has a racist South African mother, and although she was a very popular girl in school, she has many failed stints of marriages, which was at some point really funny, and then at some point you're so angry and you're like, what a silly stupid girl. And lastly, one of the very interesting character again is Megan or Morgan. So Megan, when she's born, obviously she is wrestling with her identity. Now to rebel out, like she's born as a girl but she doesn't feel like a girl, and in order to rebel out she gets into drugs, she drops out, and she starts working at McDonald's until one day she meets this girl who makes her realize this, and then Megan goes gender free and is now called as Morgan. So yeah, these are, there are 12 different characters, but these have been some of the most interesting characters according to me. I really enjoyed their stories compared to other characters. Now, as a reader, there are certain topics that might put you off or are sensitive, or it was too much to read about. For example, there's mention of gang rape, there is physical abuse, domestic violence, drug abuse, and things like that, which are very sensitive topics. You also feel sad about reading about the plight of the immigrants, about this race of people who are living and surviving in a white culture, I would say. So yeah, this is what majorly the book is all about. It's about, like I said, a race which is living and thriving in a white culture environment. Over and all, I feel this was an emotional read as well. It's packed with a lot of emotions. Some are funny, and then you're angry, and then you're sad. So very full of emotions. I would definitely recommend you guys to pick this book up, one-time read, because more than anything, I think read it for the vivid fiction and the lives and the interesting lives of this black woman. Some are, like I said, so interesting, and you're like, whoa, what is happening? So I think for that, I would urge you all to pick up this book. So yeah, that's all on this book. I'm going to see you guys next week with another book. Till then, take care and keep reading. Bye-bye.